In this video, my friend, I'm going to share with you a simple technique that can help you brainwash yourself for abundance and success as far as whatever you do is concerned. All right, let's get right into it. In 1895, a French gentleman by the name of Gustave Lebon put together a book that was going to revolutionize the way that we see how the masses function as far as the mind is concerned. The book was called The Crowd, in French, La Foule. When the book was released in 1895, people didn't really think too much of it. But those who started paying attention and started reading the book, they came to realize that there were a lot of gems as far as what the book has to offer. And they started studying it. And as they started studying it, they started reaping some amazing result. To the point where marketers of all different sorts started also reading the book. And as marketers started flocking to the book, politicians as well started paying attention to the book, because they said to themselves, if this book offers any type of intelligence or insight into how we can control the masses out there, then we have to pay attention. And amongst the politicians was someone that the world will remember as Hitler. He started reading the book, and before you know it, this man was actually born in Austria, took over Germany and turned Germany into a Nazi machine that went on to do all these despicable things all over Europe. But in the end, there was only one question everyone kept asking: how did he reach a point where he was able to control the minds of so many Germans as far as his agenda was concerned? And the answer could be found in a book called The Crowd by Gustave Lebon. Why is this book particularly important as far as you and I are concerned? Here it is. Book The Crowd. Gustave Lebon argues that the crowd is never rational. The crowd is never rational. The crowd, it always goes by what a few people, a few lunatics amongst them are going to start saying with a lot of fervor. That will become then the dominant voice as far as the crowd is concerned, and they're going to end up following the crowd. Something that applies to politics, applies to marketing, and so on and so forth. But when you look closely, you're going to come to see that this dynamic is also something that's really present in everyone's life. There's a crowd of people, there's a crowd of voices in your head that constantly speaking. This crowd is never rational. This crowd follows the voice or the agenda of the most dominant voices as far as the crowd is concerned. But the good news is the crowd only follows the voices of the people that you allow to be dominant as far as your own mind is concerned. Let me break it down for you. When you started going to school and you started being introduced to many different teachers, many different people of authority in your life, some of these voices became quite critical, became quite negative, became quite disruptive. The sad thing is that most of us have chosen to ignore the voices of the good people and follow the voices of all these disruptive people that were just very loud. And we've allowed for the loud voices and negative voices to become the dominant agenda of the crowd in our head. So you do everything on a daily basis without realizing that, yes, you are being led by the voices of all these different people, by the voice of all the negative voices that you have stored in your brain. They say that you could never amount to anything. They say you are never good at this. They say you are never good at that. And you chose to simply believe what they said, and consciously or unconsciously, your life has become a reflection of whatever they were saying to you. You will be interviewed for a position. They will offer you a job, but when it comes to certain key tasks, that will be put on the table for you, you will simply say, no, this is not for me. Because consciously or unconsciously, you simply say to yourself, my goodness, when I was in high school, my teacher told me that I could not write properly. My teacher told me that I would never amount to anything. My teacher told me that my style of writing was not appealing. So I need to just simply stick to something more basic, which is simply numbers. I cannot go to put my voice in the data I'm going to be putting out there. So I'm just going to be the person putting out data, but not trying to put any interpretation, because I was told that the way I write and the way I think is not so appealing. And before you know it, you start shrinking from your place of authority, from your moment of glory. You start shrinking to the point where you leave the people around you no other choice but to simply find someone else to be over you, because you refuse to actually assume a leadership position. And of course, you can imagine that down the road, when it comes to your paybook, when it comes to your paycheck, when it comes to your overall legacy, this can be a problem. But the good news today is that there is a way, a simple technique that you can start applying today that can help you brainwash yourself for success and brainwash yourself for abundance, and more specifically, brainwash yourself to believe that yes, you do indeed deserve to be in all these different places. Let me just give you the technique. Give yourself permission to simply take a pen and paper and try to go back to all these early years, 5-6 year old, when you started going to school until you reach high school, and all these voices, not negative but positive voices that believe in you. Start naming them. Grade 1 teacher, if you can remember, was he good or was she good to you? Start trying to figure out their names. Grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, go all the way to grade 12 or 11 or 13, depending on which country you're from. Start writing them down, the name of all these positive voices, the people that believe in you. The name, first of all. Number 2, what were they saying? What is it that they were seeing in you? They were simply trying to magnify, go now in details, what they were saying and what was their position as far as the potential they saw in you. Start writing it down. Start trying to remember as much as possible. If you still have access to any report card from all these people or any place where they would simply put the feedback as far as your ability to function is concerned, go back to these books and start trying to figure out exactly what they were saying. Capture the essence of what they were saying. And as they're doing that, my friend, you're going to come up with a small but significant library of positive voices that spoke over you in the past. So with these voices now on paper, what I'm going to ask you to do is something key. Try for the most dominant and the most influential voices, try to remember exactly what they were known for. Were the people that were wearing ascots? Were they wearing a bow tie? Were they wearing a scarf? They were wearing suit. What kind of suit? They were wearing dresses. What kind of dresses? What color? How exactly were they known? And the reason why I'm asking this is because you are trying to now build a persona or avatar that's going to help you remember these people. And with this, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. Around your home, around your bedroom, around your office, around your place of business, try to put in a most subtle manner something that's going to help you remember these people. If you have access to a class picture, try to see if you can copy one of these pictures and put it somewhere in the most solid manner so that nobody asks too many questions about it. What's going to happen is slowly but surely you're going to put around your office, around your home, around your place of business, things that are going to help you anchor yourself in the sea of all these positive voices. And before you know it, slowly but surely, you're going to now start shifting yourself from seeing yourself as the person that was being driven by the negative voices to now shifting yourself to believe in all the voices that were actually speaking life over you. And in a very subtle way, what's going to happen is when you are about to do something crazy, according to the old voices, according to the dynamics of the old crowd, when you look around, you're going to see something that's simply going to remind you that yes, you are bigger and much better than all negative voices that will simply try to steer you in the wrong direction. And before you know it, my friend, slowly but surely, you're going to now start brainwashing yourself to believe that yes, I am indeed somebody. I am indeed a man or woman of significance. And in case you don't believe in what I'm saying, let me just give you a simple story. When it comes to sport teams, why do you believe that all the sport teams have a habit of displaying all over the building things that help them remember all their achievement, all their accomplishment over the years? Championships, any type of accolades that they've received over the years. Why? Because they're simply trying to make sure that the positive voices from the past are going to be louder than all the negative voices. They're trying to make sure that the positive voices in the crowd in the head are going to be the most dominant as opposed to all the negative voices from the past. And this is something, a narrative that you and I can control, and you can start controlling that as of today. All right, much love, everyone. The best is yet to come. But now for the best to be manifested, you have to become intentional when it comes to the narrative in your head, when it comes to the crowd in your head, when it comes to the agenda. You can now start reviewing the agenda of the crowd in your head and start simply making sure it's simply consistent and aligned with where you want to go. You are in control. The best is yet to come. Much love. I'm out.